Did you know that 51% of Americans don't have an extra $1,000 for an emergency? That was us a year ago. Let me show you how you can gain financial freedom from flipping furniture. Join me out in the garage.
Today I'm flipping a 1960s Drexel dresser. This one has a fun story that I'll tell you about in the middle of the video, and I'll be sure to break down the financials for you at the end. But I paid $100 total for this dresser. It came with a small little nightstand, which won't be worth very much as there's only just one of them. The dresser is going to give me the most bang for my buck. It's in pretty good shape. It's got some parts on the top that have a bit of failing finish on them. I've got a great idea for this and a really cool color, and we're going to give that wood a bit of an upgrade, so stay tuned.
I wish I could kind of keep this hardware. I do like it. I think I'm going to go ahead and replace the hardware. I'm not really a fan of this chunky style like is on here. Plus I'm missing one. This is nowhere to be found. It didn't come with the piece. It's just missing completely. But the tricky part that I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet is what to do about these guys. So the middle drawer has this weird funky pull on it, and I think I can just take this off right here and I'll be left with just a wood square. I don't know if a little knob would be the best thing on there or if I should try to just polish these up and work around them. Stay tuned. I'm not really sure what I think I should do with these just yet.
It's time to get to work. I've given myself a goal of 6 hours of flipping this dresser. Let's see if I can do it from start to finish. This dresser is filthy. First things first, I need to remove all of the hardware. I won't be able to keep it for this project because I am missing one. I will set these aside for another project. Luckily, I found some really great pulls from Amazon that I will show you at the end that ended up going really, really well with the vibe of this dresser. I normally use simple green on all my pieces. I like it because it's convenient, easy to mix up in a little bit of warm water. It's also available at my local Sherwin-Williams, and I pick up all my products from that store. So I mix up my simple green according to the package directions. It does a great job at getting off all the dust and dirt and grime from my pieces that sit in my garage.
I'm done scrubbing with my rag, and then upon further inspection, there's still lots of like gunk in the corners. Yuck. So if you paint this, what's gonna end up happening is your paint's gonna peel. Not right away, but it will over time. It's just not gonna stick as well because it's trying to stick to the wood and instead it's sticking to the dirt. So if you refinish furniture, you want to do a good job because it's your name that's going out there, right? And we live in the Dallas area and our pieces sell for a pretty good profit. And I don't want to charge somebody high-end prices and deliver something that's not going to last. So I got my toothbrush out, and I'm going to go into all these crevices now with the toothbrush just to make sure the grime, it's not even dust, it's like grime, is out of it, so my paint is going to stick really well.
Now that the gunk is thoroughly removed, it's time to take apart the dresser. If you watched my last few flips, you knew that I found some goodies in my dressers that I flipped a few weeks ago, but not this time. Like I say, you never know what you're going to find in these old dressers.
Do you see that? Do you see that in there? That was some straight up heavy duty dust.
This is a Drexel dresser, pretty much all solid oak, but the top is veneer. The reason I can tell it's veneer is on this edge here, I can see where they've stopped the veneer piece and they have a piece of edge banding. If it was going to be real wood, you'd see the wood pattern continue over the edges, and you don't see that on this one. Plus you can see that banding on there pretty clearly. All those little dots that you see on the top, that's actually a factory finish. When I start sanding and stripping this piece, those dots are all going to disappear. Little history lesson about our dresser. This is a late 1960s Drexel Guildhall. They only made this model for a short amount of time because it wasn't well received and people thought it was ugly. You're going to have to let me know in the comments below if I gave this late 1960s beauty a facelift. I've been sanding for a few minutes. It's not going nearly as fast as I had hoped it would, especially with the failed finish that's on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the chemical stripper and see if I can save myself some time, because it's gonna take a long time for my sander to get through all of this. This is only as far as I've gotten, and it should be moving a little faster. So that means whatever is on top of this is really thick. So I'm gonna see if we can get through it first with the chemical stripper, and then we'll just come back and take the sander to it when it's dry. I prefer to use Quick Strip furniture stripper. I pick it up at Walmart. It's fairly inexpensive there. You want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated area and your hands are protected. It's also a good idea to use a respirator, as the fumes are fairly strong. I like to apply mine with a chip brush. That way it's easy to dispose of when I'm done applying. It's warm here in Texas today, so I keep this activated. I will cover it with saran wrap for about 30 minutes, and then it will be ready to remove. To deactivate the chemical stripper, I'll use some mineral spirits and the steel wool pad. The steel wool will help to ensure that all the stripper is out of the creases, and it also helps to remove any extra finish that was left behind. I'm sanding the top with a 220 grit sanding disc and my Makita orbital sander. Most of the finish is already off, so I can start with a higher grade sand. I'm not going to do a traditional stain on this one. I want to keep this really rustic. I tried a new product on the top of this, and I can't wait to show you how this wood grain looks now that it's finished. After looking at that beautiful wood top, I decided I wanted to see more of the wood grain on this dresser. So it's time to flip it over on its back so I can work on the base. It's all about the base these days with furniture. So I've decided the best look for this one is going to be to strip this base down to bare wood, just like I did on the top. I know this is going to cost me a little extra time in the garage, but the end result is going to be worth it. And what I'm doing right here is easily going to add $100 to $200 onto my listing price at the end of the day. I'm out here getting the stripper off the bottom of this piece, and I have just come across something that's like game changing for us. So somebody found these on our Amazon wish list. They didn't come with a card, so if it was you, thank you, because you just saved me so much time. So normally when I'm out here
doing with my surf prep and my sander that gets into the edges and the corners is just sanding away, and that works just fine, but it takes a lot of time. But these babies with some fresh stripper are miracles. Watch this.
Once the mineral spirits has dried and deactivated the stripper, I'll go through with my Surf Prep sander and just gently get off what's ever remaining and get into those nooks and crannies a little bit to give it that nice bare wood look.
Yes, my prep work is finally finished. It's the time that we've all been waiting for. It's time to paint. I love to use Sherwin-Williams Krylon Chalky Finish paint. The cans look like this. I get asked about this all the time. You can find these at your local Sherwin-Williams store. The easiest way to do it is to go on the website and see what location near you carries this chalk paint. So this is sold only in the Sherwin-Williams stores. The reason why I like to use their chalk paint, there's a few reasons, but the number one reason I really like to use their chalk paint is this right here. The entire Sherwin-Williams color wheel I have access to. I just call them up, I tell them what color I want, they mix it up for me, and I go and I pick it up and they have it ready. I don't need to mix different color paints. I don't have to buy 2 or 3 cans to get the color I want. I go ahead and order the color that I need, either directly from their website or by calling the local Sherwin-Williams that carries the chalk paint.
Sherwin-Williams chalk paint glides through my gravity-fed HVLP spray gun. I usually don't need to do any more than 2 coats for a well-finished product. I've decided to keep those little interesting pulls from the center doors. I've ordered some hardware in a brushed bronze color, and I'll use Rust-Oleum's burnished amber to get these little pulls to match the hardware that I purchased from Amazon. I've already cleaned these with some Dawn dish soap, and I'll give them 2 good coats of spray paint. Helmsman Spar urethane in a water-based formula is my go-to for poly. It's a Minwax product that I pick up at my local Sherwin-Williams. As a busy mom, I'm all about that one-stop shop, so the more I can grab from there, the better. Everything I've painted will get 2 good coats of poly protection. I've opted to paint the inside of this dresser. So once the outside is dry to the touch, I can open up the doors and finish polying the inside. Now that the painting is done, it's time to put the final touches on the wood grain. I chose to use walrus oil furniture finish on the raw wood.
Walrus Oil Furniture Finish is a penetrating oil-based finish that soaks deep into the hardwoods, pulling out a natural wood color and tone. It locks those tones in permanently. There's no dyes, so there's no yellowing in the wood. Furniture Finish is completely natural, vegan-friendly, and made of tung oil, safflower oil, hemp oil, and lime oil. The smell is divine, and it cures to a beautifully smooth, matte finish when it's dry. The lower the grit of sandpaper, the deeper the oil is going to soak in. I use this product because I wanted to bring out that beautiful rustic feeling wood grain pattern that was on the top and the base of this dresser. Apply a thin layer of this oil until the entire surface is covered, and then I'll wipe away any excess after 24 hours and repeat. I ended up using a total of 2 coats of walrus oil on this dresser. After the final coat, I allowed 24 hours for the surface to become dry to the touch and wiped off any extra again. I'll leave the link in the bio so you can check out this really awesome product. Final touches on this showstopper, and then it's time for the big reveal. One last look at this 1960s Drexel dresser that was called too ugly to continue to produce.
My whole goal with this channel is to show you guys creative ways to get out of debt and find financial freedom. I purchased this dresser for $100 and I will list it for sale for $700. This entire flip took me 6 hours in the garage over a 2-day period of time. That's $150 an hour. And I flip about 4 pieces a month on average. And at that rate, I'm able to pay our mortgage just from this side hustle. If you're interested in a video on how we budget all of this out, let me know in the comment section below. Be sure to check out this playlist here for our other most profitable thrift flips. And I'll see you next time at Lemons to Lemonade Furniture.